Welcome, my dear brothers and sisters. As most of us know, we bring greetings from Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhana Samsthan, S. Vyasa Yoga University. This university is based on the teachings of Swami Vivekananda, who heralded the grandeur of yoga to the world at large. He said that the knowledge base and the practices of yoga has to be made socially relevant, and the concepts and the practices have to be tailor-made to the needs of the society to meet the challenges that we face. The challenges continuously change with time, and similarly, the basic concepts on which yoga is built and the practices are made have to be suitably tailor-made to meet the challenges. We are in such a juncture, there is such a crisis of COVID. In Ayurveda, it is said every 100 years we encounter a similar pandemics, whether it is a plague or flu or others. We have seen this. Now the COVID. And COVID virus, as I see various different structures of different viruses, COVID virus structure is so beautiful. It is spherical, with all different horns everywhere. It's so beautiful. And nature has its own way of creative manifestation. And can we say that it attracts our immune system? Immune system has a capacity to know who is a friend, who is the enemy. And if this perception changes, you have the problem. So this change of perception, a wrong knowledge or a perverted knowledge, is known in yoga as viparya. We know that there are different dimensions of chitta vrittis: pramana, viparya, vikalpa, nidra, smrutaya. The manifest and the unmanifest, vyakta and the avyakta. Vyakta consists of different thoughts, different chitta vrittis which are manifest. They are vyakta. But the other is avyakta, that is in a sense frozen. In our Jagrat phase, the wakeful phase, the dream phase, we have the vyakta. In the deep sleep, or the unconscious phase, or the smriti, the memory store phases, the thoughts are frozen. There are no dualities. So we have the vyakta and the avyakta. In the vyakta, in the manifest form, we have three: prapana, viparya, vikalpa. Pramana is the right knowledge, the right perception. Viparya is the wrong knowledge. Vikalpa is uncontrolled speed of the mind, the random mind, the monkey mind, the haphazard mind. These are the three manifestations of the mind. And viparya is something very special. A person gets jaundice, he thinks the whole world has become yellow. While going in the evening, it's darkish, and you see a snake in a rope, Rajju Sarpa. Seeing a ghost in a post. These distorted, wrong notions are called viparya. We know in our body, every cell has intelligence. It's not in the brain that we have the intelligence. And the intelligence in the cells have the innate capacity, and the immune cells, whether the white blood cells or the natural killer cells, they all have that innate intelligence. They have the capacity to find out who is a friend, who is the enemy. This is our defense, as all of us know. The most important quality is you must know who is the friend, who is the enemy. Then only you can destroy the enemy. But if this viparya comes down from the highest dimensions of our understanding, from the Vijnanamaya Kosha down to the Annamaya Kosha, brings a distortion in our perceptive, distortion in the perception of the immune cells, then you have the problem. If it thinks that insulin is the enemy and doesn't allow the insulin to take care of its functions, then you have diabetes. On the other hand, opposite of that, thinking that cancer cells are my good friends, allowing the cancer cells to grow in our body. These are called viparya. And because of the viparya, you have different challenges. So among the infectious diseases, among the virus that we encounter, this coronavirus is very, very attractive. And in a funny way, I will say that immune system gets attracted to the beauty of the corona and welcomes, come on, come in. A sort of viparya that sets in the immune system. Normally, our immune system is very, very strong. Coronavirus is probably the biggest in its whole structure. The normal size varies from probably 0.025 to 0.05 micron. Whereas the corona is almost 0.9 or 0.5. But the WBC is much, much bigger. And the number of white blood cells are much larger. A CCR blood has 3,000 to 7,000 white blood cells. And they are very big in size. Therefore, it is an easy job for taking care of the coronavirus even they come and hit us. But if there is a change in perception, if a viparya takes over and gets attracted to the beauty of the corona, then it may change. So what we have been doing is to isolate ourselves with the social distancing. That is a solution that we have found to cut the spread of COVID everywhere. And it has worked very effectively. Thanks to our Prime Minister, the entire health ministry, we took primitive action, preventive action to see that we lock in. And as a result, our exponential growth has been cut, though we are having a slow growth process. And soon probably it will get flattened. So that is one solution that we are offering all over the world to contain the pandemics spreading everywhere. India has been very, very effective and is becoming a role model for the whole world. Thanks to our Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, who has been able to take such a strong decision. But there is a second dimension that we all can use to prevent the corona spread and to see that even we are able to treat these when they get into them. What should we do? The immune system should be very, very strong. One, its confusion should be removed. Second, its weakness should be reduced. We all know that stress has an immunosuppressant factor. Why does Viparya take place? Because of the stresses that we have. Fears, anxiety, anger, greed, jealousy, hatred, infatuation. These are all very violent emotions which suppress our immune system. And as a result, the weakening takes place. And the Viparya sets in. At a certain level, Viparya takes place. The grosser level, the whole system gets weakened. And the cells start thinking, oh, I'm so weak, I can't take care of this thing. And coronavirus are coming so strong and I'll be devastated. You get terrified and you start getting confused. And that all reflects in our immune system in its confused action and the weakness. This can aggravate. So the prevention, which we say is better than cure, can be done by what we have doing already in terms of social isolation. But the second dimension, to strengthen our immune system. How to strengthen our immune system and how to remove this Viparya, if it is there? By removing our stresses. And stresses have to be removed. And this is where yoga comes into picture. Yoga is the science of holistic living. It's not merely a set of asanas or a set of pranayamas or mudras or bandhas or kriyas and others. It's a way of life. What is that dimension which characterizes the way of life? A stress-free action. How to work without getting stress-free. Yogastaha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya, as the Bhagavad Gita says to Arjuna. You are in the fighting phase. And how we have to fight? With a special mode of work. That is, without getting stressed up, we should do the action. Very easily said than done. Because we are habituated to generate a lot of stress when we work. And work and action produces a lot of stress. It's but normal. It's our normal habit. But we all have that innate freedom which characterizes our human beings. Using this freedom, we will be able to change our habits. On all fronts, we should be able to change our habits. Succumbing to the attractive foods which are not congenial for health promotion is very important. And moving from tamasic to rajasic to sattvic food at the gross level. Then, with understanding that we release our stresses continuously and reduce our anxieties, fears, and others, so that we will be able to maintain a calm mind, tranquil mind, and a mind of silence. For that, Patanjali has given us the technology. Yoga gives us the method, that is the meditation, dhyana. And meditation is a state of mind in which there is a single thought. All other thoughts are replaced by a single thought that we have chosen. It can be thought of a flower, as you see, or it could be a vast, infinite blue sky, or it can be your Ishtadevata, a role model, and go on allowing the mind to stay in that single thought. And that is to be done effortlessly. When you start doing that, the mind slows down. When there is a slowing of the mind, invariably there is a tendency to sleep. No sleep, sir. This time. Wakefulness should be kept up. And as you grow in meditation, you start flowering up. You start feeling light, energetic, expansive. So these five aspects characterize what we call as dhyana or meditation. A number of methods of meditations are there. If TM was the one that was spread all over the world in the times of Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, now it is the mindfulness, Sakshi Bhava meditation. In all these things, you have a single thought, effortlessness, slowness, wakefulness, and expansiveness. This characterizes the feature. Tatra pratyaya ekatanata dhyanam. That's what it defines dhyana. So what is the result? Your metabolic rate comes down. Your deep rest that is induced to the system. And your body-mind complex wonderfully relaxes. And that is the state. You can do that while sitting or even lying down on the bed or while walking anytime. That state of mind is known as dhyana. That is the remedy to contain the stresses and release the stress. Every one of us generates stress, and the stresses mount up during our action phase. And imagine that you have 100 units of stress that are generated, and you release only 50% of that, 50 units. The remaining 50 goes on increasing, and start suppressing the immune system, leads to a number of these modern NCDs and others. So to keep the immune system becoming very strong, we have to release all the stresses that we generate. Now particularly our challenge is that we are confined to our houses. In a sense, when you look at this, it is something like an imprisonment. We are not allowed to go out of the house, just like in a prison. So normal habit is that you think, oh, this is terrible, terrible. How long I have to be there? How long I have to be there? I should be alone. My freedom is gone. My everything is gone, and then I'm imprisoned. Worrying. And people get bored, they get restless, and they get anxious, and several other things happen. But what does yoga say? Converting difficulties into opportunities. This is a great opportunity given by us, brought out by the circumstances, to stay in a wonderful atmosphere in the house. We develop our relations with our family members, enjoy the well-being of all the family members on one side, develop the right cohesive dimension of family life. That is one. The second is you have enough time. You don't have to spend for your travel, going to office and coming back and several other things. You can do all the work in the house itself. Through the information technology, that is the great boon to humanity now. And still you have a lot of time. What do? Can you go into the state of meditation and see that all the stresses are released and keep your system fit, healthy, strong, and spending time? Well, it is very easily said than done. So we need some packages. We are in the age of packages. So can we have such modules which are very simple to practice and can bring about the needed result? That's what we have done. The Swami Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhana Samsthan and the Vivekananda movement, for the last 40 to 50 years, we have been trying to develop such modules to meet challenges, to deal with large number of different ailments. We have developed these integrated yoga modules, working at the body level, Annamaya Kosha, Pranamaya Kosha, the breathing level, and the prana level, and working at the mind level, the emotional level, the Manomaya Kosha level, working at the Vijnanamaya Kosha, proper understanding, very important, counseling, and working with the Anandamaya Kosha, that is the bliss nature. We have developed these integrated yoga modules. And using this integrated modules set into a package like programs, we have been able to bring tremendous amount of benefits to people at large. There is asthma, diabetes, hypertension, heart problem, epilepsy, migraine, irritable bowel syndrome, cancer, HIV, all number of these modern NCDs. Not only that, even for tuberculosis, TB, HIV, we have been able to bring the usefulness of that. And our university is known, our Vyasa movement is known for scientific research. The name itself indicates that Vivekananda Yoga Anusandhana Samsthana. Anusandhana is the research. Vivekananda said, "Come the best of the East with the best of the West." We have set tremendous amount of wisdom-based, knowledge-based in our tradition. That's the best of the East. We have to bring it up. Similarly, the Western world has done tremendous amount of contribution for scientific research. Combine the two things. Combine the best of the East with the best of the West. Therefore, our university and the Vyasa movement in general, we adopted this approach of bringing scientific research to examine with an open mind whether really yoga is helpful for different conditions. With the rigors of scientific research, which started increasing day by day in the world at large, especially when you have to publish papers in the high impact fact journals, you have to be very, very, very accurate in scientific research. All that we adopted and started doing research, and we have been able to publish a large number of papers, nearly 800 research papers over the last 35 years. And our first paper in the British Medical Journal. Recently for diabetes, we have produced a number of research papers for which there is a big award, American Diabetic Association. Using these dimensions, we developed these modules, and to deal with COVID, we have to strengthen our immune system and by reduction of the stress. So we developed modules, integrated yoga modules, suiting to different age groups, below 15 years, 16 to 60 years, and above 60 years. We made 3 different integrated yoga modules, 10 to 15 minutes each. And we select people who are in the home, they can practice in the morning and before lunch and before evening dinner, before going to sleep, they can do these practices nicely. And 3-4 times, if not 4 times, at least 2 times, once in the morning, once in the evening they can do. And keep your immune system getting stronger day by day, day by day. But for people who are already in the hospital suffering, maybe they have got intense severity that has come up with the respiratory distress and almost like the pneumonia-like things. What can we do? We've done a lot of research in that direction while dealing with cancer patients as well. And cancer patients who are in severe condition, lying down on the bed, unable to even come up and sit. Such people also practice the yoga, the advanced techniques of yoga by doing this simple breathing practice. So we developed 4 or 5 modules for doing that while in the hospital condition, and without no secondary effect. People can do that very easily, and doing it 3 times, 4 times, 6 times, you start doing that and you start getting the benefits. What does it do? The reduction of the stress, immune system gets strengthened and is able to deal with the challenges that the coronavirus puts us. So we have the solution, and it had to work very well. So thanks to our Ministry of Ayush, now the whole dimension has been promoted, and these modules are available to you in our website, and those people who want, they can all take these things and start the practices. Another dimension that we have added on is to bring about a positive change in the global consciousness field. when not hundreds of thousands, but lakhs of people, crores of people put all their mind into a single focus, then it's going to bring a positive atmosphere in the whole universe, universal consciousness field. And we have developed this synchronized global prayers, STP as we call. And this we recommend for people to do that in a big number, morning 8 o'clock or evening 6 o'clock or both times. And that is what we are going to do the practice. And it's very simple practice of doing the synchronized development, the same practice done all over the world. And nearly 100 to 120 countries have been practicing this STP for the last few days. And recently in Sudarshan TV thing we had the whole thing, nearly 50 lakhs of people practiced at that time. And we hope every day when I take these things, give a little background and do the practice with you and see that more and more people come to this practice at exactly 6 o'clock in the evening. So with that, we are going to do this practice. When we do the practice, initially we have about 5 seconds of inhalation and about 10 seconds of exhalation with the Om. And those who want only Brahmari also can do this. And that is one cycle. Like that we do 27 rounds, 27 cycles. 15 seconds into about 27 rounds. So that will completely bring an internal massaging and bring the calmness of the mind and is this. So with that, come, let us start at 6 o'clock now and sit very relaxed and comfortable and start doing the dimensions. Sit very relaxed and comfortable. Have a glance of the whole body from toes to head. Slowly take the breath. Start. Feel the vibration through the whole body with the beautiful resonance. Enjoy the wonderful vibrations, releasing all the stresses. Inhale. Feel the vibration spreading from toes to head. Beautiful resonant wave. Apart from the whole body, the vibration spread beyond the body, engulfing the whole space around us. Inhale. The last round. Whole body is charged with the divine vibrations, bringing harmony, bliss, and balance. The whole body mind complex. Mind has become calm and quiet. Let us tune our mind to that infinite, beautiful blue sky, Ananta Samapatti, and visualize lakhs of people participating in this STP, synchronized global prayers. Making all that will keep our immune system very strong to meet the challenges that we face today. We'll resolve 9 times. We repeat that with the full faith in that expanded state of the mind. All our collective power of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. With all our collective powers of Shanti, we strengthen our immune systems. All our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. All our collective powers of Shanti, we strengthen our entire immune systems. All our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. All our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. The last round, the full faith, synchronized with the global consciousness. Inhale. With all our collective powers of silence, we strengthen our immune systems. And with that positive change brought about at the global level by all our will exercising their influence, will be able to diffuse the engulfing power of Corona, the COVID. So you'll now wish to bring health, happiness to everyone throughout the world by this Shanti mantra, which most of you are familiar. Come to Namaskara Mudra. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayah, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. The peace inside, peace in the immediate surrounding, our entire house, peace in the whole universe. Let that peace strengthen our immune systems and see that we meet the challenge that we face today. Thank you very much for your cooperation and joining me in this STP. Now it is open for questions, and we have a few questions which now I will try to answer them.
Guruji, question, how should one prepare after the corona?
That's what I said, that we all have to prepare, because our normally habits die hard. When you're confined, when you're locked in, we think that we're in a prison, and we start becoming anxious, angry, and upset, and do not want to anything. And we're thinking, how I can come out, how I can come out. I remember one of our friends, a big surgeon in London, he got into the corona and he is now confined to his house, quarantine, and he started becoming so frustrated. I cannot come out, I cannot talk to people, I cannot do these things, I cannot meet my family members, I cannot meet my wife and the children. What is this? And he's getting frustrated. He sent me an email. I said, oh dear, we have two options. One, as it take over us, like what you have been thinking. You are thinking you are in a prison and you are frustrated, you are so angry, you are so upset, you are full of anxiety and stresses. This is one option. This is how we all react normally. But we have the freedom. We have a second option. Second option is of this confinement to strengthen my immune system, to do the yoga practices. Normally, I'm so busy, I have no time. You're so engaged. Almost 16, 18 hours you have been working for the whole humanity in the medical field. You are doing your surgery and several other things. You have no time. But now we have all the time. This is the time when you can start doing the practice. And a little less than 60, therefore, I suggested that you do this simple module that we have developed about 15 minutes at a time. And do it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times. Understanding the dimensions related to yoga. And with that, he started completely changing. So we all have that freedom to go this way or to go the other way. And if you start going in the right way, you move towards perfection, you move towards total freedom, moving ourselves from our normal level to become great, super divine human beings and reach this perfection, a state of Kaivalya, as Patanjali puts, moksha, as it is said in Vedanta. There's a state of absolute freedom, freedom from all our stresses, tensions, diseases, and from all our bondages, bondage of the mind, bondage of the emotions, bondage of the intellect, bondage of the body. That is the supreme goal of human existence. You can move in that direction. Or you can go in the other direction. Suffering, 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 more and more distress, more and more misery, pain, diseases, and you go down the ladder and commit even suicide. Choice is ours. As human beings, we all have that freedom. So he started changing his entire outlook and started changing and making the best use of the whole day. He started studying various dimensions of corona and how it spreads, what are the implications, and more details about the coronavirus and the COVID on one side. Another side, he started understanding the dimensions of immune system more and more, and the genes and the gene analysis and other things. On the other side, then understanding the total dimension of yoga. And he said, I loved Bhagavad Gita and I started studying such a wonderful way in which Krishna presents the scientific dimensions of yoga in the 18 chapters of Bhagavad Gita. And he found that this is so supreme. And I was able to practice this 4 times a day, 5 times a day, 6 times a day. And the whole day was full of enjoyment, full of happiness, full of tranquility, love and calm and peace. And things started miraculously changing. He converted difficulties into opportunity. This is what yoga says. Therefore, we have to prepare ourselves to change our outlook and see that we use this great opportunity that nature has provided to do the practice more intensely. And those people who are already doing the yoga practices, I'm sure a lot number of you have been practicing in the mornings, maybe in the evenings. Now you have greater opportunity to practice 4 times a day and go deeper and deeper into the dimension. If you're meditating, go deeper and deeper. If you're doing pranayama, slow down your breathing more and more and doing all these practices and rejuvenate yourself and understanding the dimensions, studying the yogic text, whether it's Padlayog Sutra or Hatha Pradipika or Bhairana Samhita or the Bhagavad Gita or the Yoga Vasishta, and the rare texts with studied you can do this thing. Because understanding is very important. Theory and practice are both important and we should start doing that. Nature has provided this great opportunity to do that. And in the process, as we transform ourselves, we should start serving. That loving, universal thing, attitude of service should start coming up. How we can do staying in our own house, we start spreading with the internet. And tell all your database, tell your friends, families, and loved ones, everybody should start doing these practices of yoga and understanding the dimensions of yoga in its holistic perspective and see that people will start gaining the benefits of yoga everywhere. And that is how we can utilize this time. And during the period of COVID, we have this great opportunity that nature has provided us. That is the way that we have to change our habit, go in the right direction. Thank you all.
Guruji, next question. Sai Tejas asked, what to do if I get distracted by other thoughts?
That's a normal thing that happens. And when you sit for meditation, you start repeating a single thought, maybe a flower, maybe a worm, or maybe silence, or the chanting of the, or taking a role model and others. When you start doing that, you start repeating that again and again. Tatra pratyaya ekatanata dhyanam, as I said, one single thought, then effortless. So the mind wanders. It's but natural. So when it gets distracted, what is to be done? After some time, it automatically comes back. Then you start thinking. It happens once, twice, 3 times, 5 times, 10 times. Meditating even 5 minutes or 10 minutes. At times it goes out. That's the vikshipta that happens. That's normal. So what is our attitude there? One option that we all have is, oh, I don't want this distraction. I don't want this distraction. I want to be in the single thought. I'm trying my best to stay in that single thought. It's not happening, not happening, not happening. This is our normal reaction. But the trick is to use a different option. The option is, let the thoughts come, let the thoughts go. I am continuing my japa, continuity on my single thought. Om, Om, Om. And when it gets distracted, let it come, let it go. In neutrality, the first thing. And that's how it works. But what happens when you hate the distractions? More distractions come. Swami Ramdev, Swami Ramdas, long back, had a disciple. He came and asked, sir, please give me mantra diksha. And Ramdas said, okay, I'm going to give you, because you have been very and dedicated. You have been coming here for the last 1 year, and I'm going to give you. And he brought him, and he gave the mantra diksha of Ram Nam. Ram, Ram, Ram. He was gone chanting. Do 1008 times in the morning, in the evening. But one condition. When you are doing this Ram Nam Jap, you should not think of a monkey. No Hanuman, please. And he said, okay, no problem. I'll do. So he start doing Ram, Ram, Ram. Oh, my teacher has told I should not think of a monkey, no? No monkey, no monkey, no Hanuman. No, he told it correctly. I'm not thinking, not thinking. What happened? The whole, it becomes the monkey dhyana. So, when you hate a particular thing, if you don't want something to happen, it's a very powerful emotion. It clutches you. And so the whole trick in meditation is not to hate the thoughts, not to hate the distraction. Many people think I always start getting bad thoughts. Bad thoughts are good thoughts, are thoughts, essentially. So it should be tatastha, it should be sakshi bhava. Don't worry, let the distraction come, let distractions go, I continue this japa, and you will find your meditation becomes successful more and more. And this is the, if the mind is too haphazard, and if the distractions go haywire, you are sitting for 10 minutes, 9.5 minutes, you are in the distracted phase. What is to be done? Do the breathing. What we did, the Om. That brings harmonization and the balance. The mind calms down, your meditation becomes more and more effective as you start doing this dimension. Therefore, this is the whole trick of the meditation. And summary is, you should not hate distraction. Let the distraction come, let the distractions go. It's our normal. And you be neutral to that. And continue positively about your particular thought that you have taken, the dhyana, vastu you have taken, the object of meditation you have taken, and do these things. And if you choose an object which you like very much, whichever god or goddess you like, or whichever the silence that you take, or the all-pervasive thing, or a role model of a person, whomever you take, then it becomes easier for you to stay in that meditative state for long. Remember 5 things: single thought, effortlessness, slowness, wakefulness, and expansiveness. 5 dimensions of meditation. And I wish you all the best. Thank you. Namaste. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः.